Hey, good afternoon, or more so like good evening. My name is Sean Harris, and I am a part of the speech class 1311 from Mr. Adedega. And I wanted to discuss on demonstrative speech and more so just using your imagination. So basically, people say, how can you change your life? What is it that you can do to make your life different, better? If you had the chance to change anything, what would you change? Would you want more money? Would you want better relationships, better finances, whatever it is? And how do we get that change? We usually hear that it takes hard work and dedication, and those points are true. But what if there's an element that you can use, and I can show you that can make a complete difference in everything that you do? Interested? Here we go. The first thing that I want to introduce is that as a background, um, you have a lot of different philosophies out there that say do this, do that, and guarantee this and guarantee that. I'm kind of skeptic. I grew up in a low income neighborhood, so to speak, really more so to speak, low income, and we had to go against a whole lot of different personalities, different groups. So I don't know if you ever experienced that, but it's kind of difficult growing up in an environment where one street doesn't like the other street, so you can't go on that street to get to school. You got to go around, and when you get to school, it's basically you're with your homeboys and they're with their homeboys, and you got to kind of mind your P's and Q's and be on the guard for whatever happens. So after growing up like that, I had a chance to play football. And this is where I first decided, or better yet, first discovered how to use this technique. Playing football gave me an outlet. I love it and loved it then and still love it now. But what I would do prior to playing the game of football is that I would just imagine myself being this or that or this. Either the fastest or making a tackle or more so I was a running back slash fullback, I would just run with the ball and where nobody could touch me. And I would think about it constantly. And I would always imagine from where I was growing up that one day I get to play on a big field like you see in the NFL. Hmm. Just so happened, as I began to play, it was almost as if I knew this move was coming up or I knew this person was going to do this because I kind of seen it in my mind. Strange, right? But I imagined it before I did it. Next, I also imagined what if I had the chance to play on a big open field. I came from the city, so what it would be like to play on a big field with the lights and everybody around and watching it, and I get to do my thing. And sure enough, later on that about teen years, I was introduced or moved to Colorado. Had to get out of trouble in where I was staying. So when I went to Colorado, I got to play on a big field. Well, let's fast forward. Um, then I believed, or more so imagined, what if I could be a 4-year letterman? I 4-year letterman. Then we come back and let's fast forward again. Now I'm working. And as I'm working, I see one day this helicopter comes down and these guys get off the helicopter and they wheel out this patient. And I'm like, man, I wish I could do that. I want to do that. And I asked the nurse that came into the room and I said, hey, who are those guys? And she told me they're registered nurses that have special training. At that time, I said, man, I wish and I wonder what it would be like. I used my imagination, sat back and thought, what would it really feel like if I was one of them? Fast forward from then, I then turned around and graduated out of LVN school. Now I'm in RN school on my way to fulfilling what I imagined. So when I got there during a clinical rotation, I seen an award and I told my classmates at the time, I said, hey, I'm going to put my name up on that award one day. Then I turned around and they didn't believe me. A year and a half later, I put my name up on that award. And then I turned around and said, well, I want to work in surgery. I like the way that, doing surgery. How cool is that? Inner city kid, got to play football, and now I get a chance to see something on the opposite side of the spectrum, helping somebody, fixing somebody. And they told me it couldn't be done. So I put pictures on my wall. In fact, there's a picture right there. that I put up on my wall, and on that picture it shows surgery going on. And I just imagine how cool it would be in the morning time to be coming in into the hospital. I just got done with working out and I'm going to work in surgery. How proud is that as compared to where I came from before? Lo and behold, I got surgery job. Now, let's fast forward. I'm getting ready to graduate RN school and I set my sights on something else. So you're probably wondering, that's all great and cool, but how do I get there? What is it that I did to make things work for me? It's real simple. I just simply use the imagination. The reference that I used that I happened to find one time was actually out of the Bible. It was out of Genesis 11:6. And this is where God was speaking to whomever he was talking to. But he made a comment and he said that the people who were doing what they were doing, that nothing would be restrained from them because they were using their imagination. Think about it. That really stuck with me. I'm not a biblical scholar. Lord knows that I probably need more help than anybody else out there, but that verse stuck with me. It really stuck with me. From then, I started to really decode and look at people like Voltaire and other philosophers and what is life and what's the meaning and how do you change it. And it brought me back into this simple thing about the imagination because I said, man, I did all these things and I did them, but I first thought about it, imagined it. And somehow, some way, as soon as I imagined it, I thought about it, I dwelled in it, I let it be, and then I let it go. And after I let it go, I just stayed on the course and things always shifted or moved and put me in line to where it is that I am right now. So, how can you get there? I got a few cards, so here we go. First, and I only say this, try it. If it doesn't work, forget about it. Don't worry about it. It ain't going to cost you anything but a few minutes. But if it does work, so what we do, first we get a card, a piece of paper, or whatever it is. On this one, I was saying, hey, write your ideas, go here. So whatever idea you have, whatever it is that you wish for, don't make it elaborate, but when you think about it, think about you actually doing it, that has already came true. Now you're already in the process of doing it, such as what I was doing with surgery. I was already imagining the feeling of going to work, the feeling of going into surgery, how proud that is to, tell my mom and my family, hey, this inner city kid is now doing some amazing things. So put your ideas down. Number two, once you put your ideas down, we'll go ahead and it says here, find a picture. You can find a picture and you can find what it is that you would like or an idea. Keep it. Look at it. Put yourself in that picture and imagine what would it feel like. Now, the rest of it is simply the 3, 4, 5, and 6. Dwell in that. Think about it. Dwell in it. Enjoy that feeling. Just sit back and imagine what would it feel like if I was a whatever. When you do that and you sit back and imagine it and you feel it, once you're done with that feeling and you do it to where it's already happening in the end, not that you're going to get it, but you already are doing it and it's already in the process. For some weird, strange way, everything I've ever done happened like that. I thought about it, I felt it, I enjoyed the feeling. I looked at it as if I was in first person, as if this is my movie, my imagination, and what I'm coming up with. And when I did all of those things, I just simply let it go. Now, for me, I always thank God because I know my past. So I always thank God at the end, and I always was just very happy. And whatever I imagined, I never dug it up and said what I can't do, or this may not work, or what if. I left all of that alone. And I also did something else. I kept it really secret. Don't tell too many people what you're doing, because sometimes you'll have those who will kill a big dream because they're small-minded. And they come back and go, oh, it's not going to happen. I don't know why you dream about that. I'm prime example. I either should be dead or in jail, but instead I'm in front of this computer right now giving this speech, so to speak, on telling you what I did to make things happen. So here it is. One more time. Write down whatever it is, the idea that you have. Think about that idea as in first person. Go into it and play that movie in your mind. Then, once you play it in your mind, add all the feeling that you can have inside of that idea. Then, once you finish with that idea, dwell in it and see it at the end. Then, turn right back around as you're doing so. Be thankful for that. And then, let it go. And the key is just let it go. And however, and whatever you want to call it, things line up and they kind of push you right into the direction of where it is you need to go. The end result is the end result. So I say to those, if you don't say that this will work, no problem. If you say that you're at the last end of your rope, you really want something different, try it. And if it does not work for you, you didn't lose anything. And if you say, well, how can I be sure I want a Land Rover, I want a whatever it is that you want. Not to say that you have to keep it confined to small things, but try something small at first. And then when you get up to building up your faith and seeing things work, go for what you know. And you'll be surprised how well things will turn out. Anyway, my name is Sean Harris, and I hope you enjoyed this. And I hope you really try it, because the fact is, it's going to work. Have a good day.